So for the third and final spreadsheet, the profit projections, column A, the label for that depends on what kind of business you have. If you're selling goods or products, you might label column A as products. If you're selling a service, like a car wash or a hotel, you might label it differently. But basically, this is like what are you selling? So like what we sell, or products, or some kind of label there that makes sense. Column B is going to be our cost. What does it cost you to obtain that item or to render that service? What are your costs? And column C is going to be what we charge. What are you going to charge your customers? So let's start with these columns, and then we'll do column D, E, and F in a minute, and those are calculations. So what we sell, start listing your different services or products. If I had a pizza shop, and what we sell, you can get a large cheese pizza. And you're going to have to estimate here what the cost of that would be. Like, what's the cost of the dough, the sauce, the cheese, and what are you going to charge? And you could use like your own just kind of common sense and knowledge to estimate. So what we charge, I'm going to charge for a large cheese pizza $15, but let's assume that pizza really only cost me about $2 or $3 to make. If you want to research the cost of things, you can to make it more realistic, but estimating's okay here. And then let's also do a large pepperoni pizza. That cost me a little more, but I'm going to charge like way more. You want pepperoni, it's going to be $18. So column D, once you've figured out a sampling of the things, at least 5 things that you're offering or selling, once you've figured out that sampling, then column D becomes the profit per transaction. So every time I sell a large pizza, the customer's giving me $15, but it cost me $3 to make it. So here, this is going to be not a multiplication formula this time, but a simple subtraction formula. How much it costs you taken out of how much you're getting, and then of course you could spread that down. Now column E, we're going to throw in a little bit of a random predictor. So we're going to use let's say sales per month, and a typical month of the year, how many large pizzas do I think I'm going to sell? Now we're going to use the rand between formula here, equals rand between, and you set your own range. And this is a little bit of fiction because we don't really know, but certainly there are some things that would sell a lot, and some things, depending on your service, that wouldn't sell as many. And try and keep it into a somewhat realistic number, not 50 billion pizzas. But I think every month I'm probably going to sell anywhere between, I don't know, probably between 300 and 600 pizzas. And then here, the same thing for pepperoni. I don't think those are quite as popular, so I'm going to use rand between and estimate I'll sell anywhere between 100 and 300. And this gives you the random number that we can update and change to represent different a different month of sales. And finally, column F, total profits. Now, if I sell this number of pizzas, which is going to continue to change as we update our spreadsheet, and I'm making $12 per pizza in profit, then how much money does my business make that month? Multiply. And of course, you can spread that down. For the random number, depending what your items are, you might consider using the same random number for multiple items, in which case you could spread it. But otherwise, now there's one last thing to do, as in all of our spreadsheets. Let's calculate the total. And I'm going to do that here with the sum formula. Lock it in. and I'm going to hit the money sign to format that as currency. So in any given month, I'm going to make that number, that amount of money, and next month these numbers change and I make a different amount of money. And that's the profit projection spreadsheet.